Om Gyana Timirandasya Gananjara Shalakaya Chakshumilitam Yena Tasamai Shri Gurave Namaha. So I'd like to welcome you to the second class in our seminar on Shraddha, to Prema and beyond. So yesterday we discussed about faith and all the reasons why you should have faith, so many benefits of having faith. So today we're going to discuss about the Bhajana Kriya, the devotional service. Yesterday was Sadhu Sangha and Shraddha, and today will be Bhajana Kriya and Anartha Nivritti. Or while we're doing our devotional service, problems may come up, doubts may come, and what to do, and how to identify which level or levels that we are on right now. In the level of Anartha Nivritti, which most of us are at. I have more of everything if you run out of something. Okay, you ran out of something. Okay, the verses? Okay, you need more verses. All right.
Yeah, more of those. Thank you.
Okay, Zeno? Okay, good. So today we will discuss two verses from Bhagavatam, 1 to 17 and 18, famous verses, especially verse 18, which describe progressing from Bhajana Kriya to Anartha Nivritti. And yes, there's one more person who just came. Here, I can give you here another set. Yeah. There you go. Okay. Oh, and another person. All right. Here we go again. 1, 2, and 3. One more. One more person came. Where'd she? There she is. Yeah. African obeisances. Okay. Again, rain. All right. We made it before the rain. The early comers. I don't know about the late ones. What will happen to them? Okay. So we are doing verse 1 to 17. It is also up on the board. So you can also read it up, or you can read it on your paper. I'll sing one line, and you can repeat after me. This is your verse paper, which looks like this. Shrindatam swakata Krishna Punyashavana Kirtana Hidantasta Pyabhajani Viturna Tisarit Satam. Shri Krishna, personality of Godhead, who is Paramatma, Supersoul in everyone's heart, and the benefactor of the truthful devotee, cleanses desire for material enjoyment from the heart of the devotee who has developed the urge to hear his messages, which are in themselves virtuous and properly heard and chanted. And we have some papers for our latest comer over here. Oscar, yes, for you. Here you go. So, we are going to go through some fog today. It's going to be a foggy day. It's a little bit, yes, the dark clouds are there already for us outside. But real fog, you can see in Vrindavan in early winter. It's such a fog, you cannot see even, 1 meter in front of you. And I have driven in such fog. And you can't see if there's anyone coming from the opposite direction. You just have to really pray when you turn the corner. You can only see the white line on the road, and that's all you can see. And so when we drive in the fog, We have to move very slowly, and it takes a lot of time to cross the smallest distance. The sun is shining above, but it blocks the warmth, and its light is blocked by the fog. So we have a fog in our heart. There's the fog of aparad, offenses, and anartas, and it covers our heart so the rays of the holy name cannot shine. And so today we want to go through the fog, and Krishna will help us because he responds according to our desire, our endeavor to reach him. If he sees we're very sincere to hear about him, he helps us in the heart. So in the purport of this verse, Prabhupada says, the Lord is more anxious to take us back into his kingdom than we can desire. Most of us do not desire at all to go back to Godhead. Only a very few men want to go back to Godhead. But anyone who desires to go back to Godhead, Shri Krishna helps. So how many of you want to go back to Godhead? Do you want to go? Yeah, not everyone. We're not all ready. Yes? Okay. Okay. Yes, that's good. I know I asked this in one country, and only a few people raised their hand. I think it was Sweden. They like Sweden better than back to Godhead. Yeah, they like Sweden. So yes, so we can go back just by hearing, and we get pious activities just by hearing. Srila Prabhupada has explained that every word we chant, every mantra, every obeisance we do is being counted by Krishna, and he's putting it into our spiritual bank account. Did you know you have a spiritual bank account? Yes, you do. And today you're putting a deposit in by coming to this class. And every time you chant, another deposit. So one time I told my son Govinda, he was, I think teenager. I said to him, no, you should put something into your spiritual bank account. He was not really putting many deposits. So then he said, Mom, don't worry. I have a joint account with you. So it's true that your whole family gets the benefit of your devotional service. But that doesn't mean you don't have to do the work too. You also have to do the work, or else you might take a few more lives to go back to Godhead. Okay, here we have one more. We're going to run out, and then we'll have to share. Okay, yes. So we must do spiritual deposits, and we do that by chanting Hare Krishna. We may have problems also. One devotee asked, told Prabhupada, sometimes I fight with my godbrothers, and I have problems, and the spiritual master isn't there, and it's too detailed for the scriptures. What should I do? So Srila Prabhupada said, you chant Hare Krishna very nicely. All the answers will come. They will come. So Krishna helps. Krishna helps. If you're hearing with attention, he's just like a father. He sees the children suffering, and he wants them to stop suffering and come back to him. And so he's our friend. Now, what are these dirty things in the heart? Yes, what are these dirty things? There's four kinds of dirty things, 4 categories. That is, first is hridaya darbalyam. That means weakness of heart. We have a weakness of heart. And there's 4 kinds. Attachment to things not related to Krishna, and cheating and fault-finding is another one. Envy and desire for recognition. These are weaknesses of heart that we have, part of the fog. Aparad is offenses to devotees, deities, holy name, and other living entities. We can also make offenses to them also. And then asatrishna means desire to enjoy this world, heavenly planets, liberation, and mystic powers. These 4 things we want to enjoy. And the last one is tattva vibrama, or ignorance about the spiritual path. So that can be another problem. So suppose, so Krishna does help us. Suppose we have a video camera in our heart. Like, in some operations, they have a camera where you can see what the doctor is doing. If your anesthesia is not so heavy, you can watch the operation going on, even in the heart. So just imagine that you have a spiritual video camera that can catch what is going on in your heart when you are chanting very nicely and very attentively. What will you see happening in your heart? Anybody have an idea? What will you see happening? What? Krishna is listening to you. Okay. Krishna is cleaning. Yeah. It says in this verse, he will clean the heart. Yes. He will cleanse us. He's cleaning. You said he's sweeping. You will see him sweeping. Okay. Yeah, Sachinanda Swami says that. Any other way he could be cleaning your heart? Are there other ways that Krishna can clean your heart besides sweeping? There's another way. He can be dancing and kicking out the dirt, because Srila Goswami says he dances in your tongue first, then your ear, and then your heart. Oh, another copy's for you. Yes. Okay. 1, 2, 3. Here we go. Okay, we only have, we have one more. 2. All right. So Krishna's cleaning all these 4 categories of things: weakness of heart, offenses, taste to enjoy, and ignorance. 4 things are there. So His Holiness Sachinanda Swami says that how do we go through this anartha nivriti? He said, tears of humility and emotion will remove the anarthas. If we cry, and as Prabhupada did advise us many times, that we should chant and cry for Krishna. We should cry, please accept me, please accept me. So Maharaj asked us the question in his retreat, have you all cried sufficiently? Have you cried? Okay, so actually in Moscow, Russia, the early days, there was one devotee who joined a temple in the very beginning of the Russian, when they started to have a temple. And he was taught as a brahmachari that you have to, in japa time, you choose a picture, like here, they have the picture there. There were many pictures in the temple. Choose a picture, sit down in front of the picture, chant japa, and cry. He said it took him about 3 days before he started crying, but we don't do that. That's artificial. But that's what they used to do. And that was their idea in some early temples. Yes, the crying is going on outside. Thank you. Indradev. Yes, he's showing us how to cry for Krishna. So by humility and tears, then we can go through anartha nivriti easier. It'll be easier for us. Now, Srila Prabhupada was asked the question, how can I chant attentively? So Srila Prabhupada said 7 words. Just try, that's the first 2, just try to hear yourself chant sincerely. So hearing, chanting, hearing, and then with your heart, sincerely. So what does it mean? This is my first question for you. What does it mean to chant sincerely? What is this meaning of sincerely? Pardon me? Eagerness to meet Krishna. You're so eager you cry. Yeah, I need Krishna. I really need Krishna. Oh, I must have Krishna. That's eagerness. Yes, eagerness to have, yes? To really mean what I say, yeah. And I say, I want to meet Krishna. I want to see Krishna. I want to be with Krishna. So this eagerness, yes, you have your hand up in the back? Being attentive. Yeah, if you're attentive, that means you're serious, you're sincere. Yeah, sincere. Right. So now we are going to go to verse 18. And you have this on your verse sheet, verse 18. So I'll sing one line and you can repeat after me. And some of you may know this verse. It's a very famous verse, often recited before speaking Bhagavatam. Nashta prayesh apadreshu nityam bhagavata sevaya bhagavati tamashloke bhaktir bhavati naistki. By regular attendance in classes on Bhagavatam and by rendering of service to the pure devotee, all that is troublesome to the heart is almost completely destroyed, and loving service unto the personality of Godhead, who is praised with transcendental songs, is established as an irrevocable fact. So we can look at the purport here, this one. Here's the remedy for eliminating all inauspicious things within the heart, which are considered to be obstacles in the path of self-realization. The remedy is association of the Bhagavatas. There are two types of Bhagavatas, namely book Bhagavat and devotee Bhagavat. Both the Bhagavatas are competent remedies, and both of them or either of them can be good enough to eliminate the obstacles. The devotee Bhagavat is as good as the book Bhagavat because the devotee Bhagavat leads his life in terms of the book Bhagavat, and the book Bhagavat is full of information about personality of Godhead and his pure devotees, who are also Bhagavatas. Bhagavata book and person are identical. Devotee Bhagavat is direct representative of Bhagavan, personality of Godhead. So by pleasing devotee Bhagavat, one can receive the benefit of the book Bhagavat. Okay. So Bhagavat, here we hear the word Bhagavat so many times. What does that mean? According to Srila Prabhupada, it means that we don't approach Bhagavan directly. Bhagavata Sevaya, not Bhagavan Sevaya. So you go through the Bhagavat to reach Bhagavan. Bhagavat means someone who has dedicated his life to Krishna. And also, it means many, many things. In his lecture on this verse, Srila Prabhupada said that Bhagavata means Gita, Bhagavatam, spiritual master, Tulsi Devi, temple, preaching, books. These are all Bhagavata. All of this whole temple, the Tulsi, everybody. It's all Bhagavata that you can associate with and make progress and remove the obstacles. And this is a prescription, Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya. Always serve Bhagavatam every day, every moment. Remember Bhagavatam and serve the Bhagavatas. And then Nashta Preshu, not all the things will be removed, but almost everything, inauspicious things. And his lecture, again, Srila Prabhupada explained, what does this mean, almost everything? He gave a percentage, 75%. When 75% is gone, you come to bhakti, bhavati, naishtiki, you come to nishtha when 75% are gone. And so there's different stages of devotional service. So when an artanavritti, when it's finished, then you come to nishtha, not everything, but praya, almost everything. 75% is cleansed. So then you become fixed up in devotional service, naishtiki, 75%. And Japitaka Maharaj, she confirmed that. And we have one last bunch of papers left here. Don't need the first one. Only one of these. Okay. This. Oh, okay. You have, okay, good. So you have one of these. So you can give to the newcomer here. Yeah. So almost all, so Japitaka Maharaj, he was talking about one class which Srila Prabhupada gave. He gave a class in Los Angeles, and he was saying, you have to be 100% free of all anarthas to go back to Godhead. And the devotees in the class were just all looking down, looking very sad. So then Prabhupada said, okay, 90%. You can be 90% free and go back to God. And the devotees were still looking pretty unhappy. He said, okay, 80%. And then he got off the Vyasasan, he looked back and he said, 75%. So yeah, and there's another lecture, in case you can't pass 75, he said 50 or 60% even will do as passing grade to go. So what does this mean? Yes, we'll talk tomorrow about what it means, this 75% free. So Prabhupada will make up for our lack if we are sincere. There was one story about one man in South India. Our devotee, he had to make life members, but he wasn't very good at making members. So he looked in the phone book and he saw one Bengali name because he's Bengali. So then he said, he phoned up the man, came to his office, and the man said, yeah, I'll become your member and I'll give you a donation. That time the membership was, 2,222 to become a life member. He gave 10,000. And now how it's cost 35,555 to become life member. In rupees, yeah. 35,000. That's about, let's see, that's $400, I would say. How many? 3.5, yeah, it's about, and I guess that many dollars too. Maybe less dollars, or more dollars, it would be, more dollars. Yeah, anyway, so this man, he said, yes, your guru, Abai, he came to our house every day at lunch, and he was my father's class friend, his friend in class in the college. And he would come every day to our house and play chess with my father. And the stakes for the game was lunch. And almost always he would win. Abai would win the game. So then later on, my father, he said, became a Sanskrit professor, and Abai told him, you should help me later on when I do something. So then years later, he learned, this man was in Calcutta. He went to see Prabhupada at our temple, Albert Road. And Prabhupada said, where's your father? I want to meet him. And the son went home and said, oh, Prabhupada wants to meet you. And he said, how can I go? I'm just Grihamedi, and he's guru of the world. What should I tell him? The son said, tell him I'm sick. So he went to Prabhupada and told him, my father's sick. So next, he said, okay, he's not coming, I'll go see him. So Prabhupada went on his morning walk through all the narrow lanes to the man's house. And he went to the father who was in bed, in the bedroom. And he said, my disciples need to learn Sanskrit. I told you should help me. Come and teach them Sanskrit. You can travel around the world with me and teach them. Why don't you do that? You come, I'll take you. And the man said, oh, Swamiji, I'm very old. I don't have spiritual energy. And Prabhupada said, no, you have the spark. The same quality in me is also in you. You should join this movement. Better late than never. Perfect your life. Then the son, Prabhupada left, and then the boy went to school. He came back at 3 in the afternoon. And his father said, please give me some water. He leaned back and he said, Bhaktivedanta will take me. And then he left his body. So actually, the son said, when Prabhupada said, you come, I'll take you, I thought he was going to take him traveling, but he actually meant he was going to take him back to Godhead. So, so Prabhupada will make up for our lack. According to Dinabandhu, Prabhupada was on the Vyasasan in LA at the end of a lecture. He said, if you just follow these 4 regulative principles, chant 16 rounds, you will go back home, back to Godhead. I guarantee it. So that we have a guarantee if we follow Srila Prabhupada, that we can, if we can come to that level of passing, come to Nishtha, come to the mode of goodness, then he will help us go back to Godhead. So in Chaitanya Charitamrita, in Adi Lila chapter 1, around verse 100, there's a process which tells what's happening in our heart when we are progressing in spiritual life. What's actually happening? First thing that happens is, at first it talks about the sunlight, how the sun comes. Now the sun just came with cooperating nature today. The sun has come, and when the sun comes in, you see everything, like even external objects like pots and plates. So it's described, Lord Chaitanya and Nityananda are like the sun and moon, and they have come simultaneously to spread Krishna consciousness. So when the sun and moon of Gaura-Nitai come in our heart, they show us two Bhagavatas, the book Bhagavat and the devotee Bhagavat. They show us, they reveal that. So that's the first thing. They help us meet the two kinds of Bhagavatas. And second thing, these Bhagavatas give us bhakti. And what happens after we get bhakti? You can control Krishna. That's what Krishnadas Kaviraj says, is what's going on when we perform devotional service. So now we're going to go to this, this chart, which I gave you. We're going to use this today and tomorrow. This is from Adhira Kadambini. We're going to look on the left side of the chart where it talks about 6 stages of anartha-nivritti, or anishtita bhajana kriya, unsteady devotional service, unsteady bhajana kriya. And we start at the bottom where it says, utsaha mai, false confidence or enthusiasm, false confidence. So that means when you're a new devotee, you preach, but it's kind of, you don't preach in the right way to people. Like, for example, one devotee, or some devotees, went in the beginning of ISKCON, they would go home to their parents and say, you're not my father, you're not my mother. I had so many mothers and fathers, why should I accept you? It's not how you preach to your mother and father. No. Or you may be on the street and you meet some old guy and you say your teeth are falling out and you can't hear and you can't see, so you're going to die. Better take this book before you die. No, we also don't preach like that either. But you go home and you tell all your friends, you can't figure out why they're not all joining you in Krishna consciousness. You might make your dog a vegetarian and everybody at home. And so there was actually in Russia, this happened when Bhakti, she wrote a letter to her guru and said, I got this book. My mother got this book, and then my grandmother, she took it away and she wouldn't let anyone read it. But then after she read it, she became a transcendental terror, and she made us all chant 16 rounds and become vegetarians. And she would preach. She would hold the book around and go and preach. And she would call, Lord Prabhupada says this. It worked for her, but we don't want to. She was old. When you're old, and it's different. You can say a lot of things. When you're young, you can't get away with it. It's like we can. So that's the first level, Usamai. Second level, Kanatarala, and that means sporadic endeavors. Sometimes you're very enthusiastic. You want to get up early, go to Mangalarti. And sometimes you're not. And sometimes you really like chanting, and sometimes you can't wait till you're finished your round. When is it going to finish? No. So, that is called Ganatarala, or sporadic endeavor. So we go through these different spells sometimes.
Doesn't it mean literally thick and thin?
Yeah, also thick and thin. Yes, thick and thin. Sometimes we're in the thick of it.
Yeah, I just think that it was like water is liquid and solid depending on the external circumstances.
Mm-hmm.
So when one's
Yeah.
isn't it, when one's
Yeah.
determination is affected by external circumstances, that's gone so long.
Yes. When our sadhana is affected by external circumstances. Yes. Yeah, that's also very good. Yes, that's part of it. That is part of it. Yes. Thick and thin. Thick and thin. The next one, Vyuta Vikalpa, indecision and extensive speculation. And this, so if you're brahmachari, you might think, oh no, maybe I should get married. This is not working. Or if you're living in the temple, you may think, oh no, maybe this temple is not good. I'll go to another temple. But the problem is your mind will follow you to the other temple too. And you probably will have the same problems as you had in the other temple. Or if you're a grihastha, if you're a man, you may think, oh, I should just leave this family and go to Vrindavan and forget everything. Or you may think, no, I'll make my family all devotees. Sometimes our devotees did leave their families. I think Vishujan, Shivaram Maharaj, they left their wife and children to become devotees. And some, I know one, my god sister Aditya, she left her son to become a devotee, her husband and son. So it happens that the Vyuta Vikalpa, but she did it, but some other devotees are just indecisive. They're not sure what to do. Should I do it or shouldn't I? Should I, leave this country? Maybe I should just go to India and then I'll be very happy there. Even single women have told me, I'll just go to Vrindavan and chant. I said, no, you won't. You'll get a lot of obstacles over there. It'll be very difficult. So, that's the third level, Vyuta Vikalpa. The fourth level, Vishaya Shangara. That means struggle with the senses. So you're doing your sadhana every day, but sometimes you fall down. Maybe grihasthas will fall down, or somebody may go out and have a drink again or smoke or something. He may get in bad association. And he knows, no, I shouldn't do this. This is not good. Really, Krishna, please help me. I can't, I need to get out of this falling down. This is not good for my spiritual life. So that's Vishaya Shangara, struggle with senses. And then Niyamakshama, inability to improve. Like you may make a vow. Okay, from tomorrow I'm going to chant 32 rounds every day. And you try, or else it may be Nirjala Kadashi, and 64 rounds. And I'm going to stay up all night, and I'm going to fast even from water, Nirjala. But it comes, in the afternoon, evening, I'm really thirsty. Especially Nirjala Kadashi happens in India when it's 48 degrees, 46 degrees in Vrindavan. It's really hard not to drink water if you're living in Vrindavan on that day. And not eating, and then it comes nighttime, and you think, well, I'm really sleepy. That's it, I can't stay up. So you can't chant your 64, and next day comes, or you may do it. You may stay up the whole night, chant. But then, next day you have a feast and you sleep the whole day. So this is the problem. You make vows, but you can't really do them. So that is Niyamakshama. And then the last one is Tarangarangani, where bhakti gives you actually things that you can enjoy. Just like in Vrindavan, brahmacharis come with nothing, and then they end up with a motorbike and a cell phone and so many things. These things come by doing bhakti. You get a nice place to stay, nice food to eat, which some people don't have in this world. And So you kind of take advantage. So these are the six levels, but they're not only stages. We may be in many stages at once, not just one. We may be, struggling also, not making vows and not being able to do it, or even enjoying material facilities that we get with bhakti. And so, yeah, these things may all be there almost. And so then now what happens next is we have to do something about it. And we do have some prayers. I gave you a prayer sheet here. Prayers to avoid offenses, overcome offenses. The first one is from Srimad Bhagavatam, recommended by Srila Prabhupada to avoid offenses. Bhagavatam, 10th canto, 1st chapter, verse 4. So I'll sing one line, you can repeat after me. Nivitatasha upagiyamana, nivitatasha upagiyamana, bhavasharashatamana viramat, sharashatamana viramat, gautama shloka gunanuvadat, puman virajeta vina vashukanat. Glorification of the Supreme Personality of God is performed in the proper system, that is, it is conveyed from spiritual master to disciple. Such glorification is relished by those no longer interested in the false temporary glorification of this cosmic manifestation. Descriptions of the Lord are the right medicine for the conditioned soul undergoing repeated birth and death. Therefore, who will cease hearing such glorifications of the Lord except a butcher or one who is killing himself? And then the next one from Harinam Chintamani. Dash aparatayena hridayena pashe. Dash aparatayena hridayena pashe. Kripakori Mahaprabhu Majjinam Harase. Pakori Mahaprabhu Majjinam Harase. O Mahaprabhu, please be merciful to me so the 10 offenses never touch my heart and I can always remain absorbed in the rasa of the holy name. So I would also like to share something from His Holiness Bhakti Tirtha Maharaj. He identified 4 reasons why advanced devotees fall down. It can also be applied to ourselves, any devotee. You have to be careful of these 4 things. So the first thing is aparad, offenses. Committing offenses to other devotees can cause you to fall down, and also lack of good association. The example is Bharad Maharaj, who was on the level of Baba, but he became attached to a deer. He gave up his family, he gave up everything. A beautiful wife, children, palace, emperor of the whole world, but he got attached to a deer. And so we have to be careful of our association. And what is the worst association nowadays? It's our cell phones, the social media. You have to be really careful not to become addicted to the social media and the news and everything that's going on today. So 1, 2, 3, third reason why they fall down. So we have what we have now. We have aparad, and we have lack of good association. The third one is lack of humility, being proud. I'm the best devotee, and lack of association can also, like for the leaders, it may that the only association they get is that of their juniors that they're helping, their disciples, who always are glorifying them, and nobody gives them some constructive criticism, like they don't make friendship with the God brothers or God sisters. So, so association, you have to be careful, and careful of pride, because if you're not humble, you can't chant the holy name. And then the fourth thing is ignorance of the path. You may think it's all going to be real easy, and I'm a devotee, and nothing's going to happen to me, And I'm not going to have any doubts, but it will come. Don't worry, doubts will come. And this goes for practitioners of all religions, not just Krishna consciousness. There is an example of Mother Teresa, who I was there in Calcutta when she was there, and she left her body, and thousands of people came at her funeral. And after she died, then one Western magazine, I think Newsweek, got a hold of her personal diary. And they were quoting parts of it where she had some doubts, and she was confiding in her superiors about some doubts she had. And they said, just see, she's not a saint. She's not a saintly person. She had doubts. And I said, no, she's just going through an artaniriti like we do too, you know. And if you think you're not going to go through it and then it happens, then you'll be in trouble. You'll think, you know, and you just doubt the movement, you know, maybe I'm in the wrong movement. And sometimes the devotees do. They go to some other movement, or else they get married and forget about Krishna. I mean, we don't. Our grihastas remember Krishna, and they use their family life to remember Krishna. But some do get lost in illusion. So this ignorance is it's very, it is one of the anarthas in the heart, and it can overcome us if we're not careful in our spiritual life. So then, how to become empowered by Super Soul, how to become protected. One devotee in Germany, he wrote Prabhupada a letter that, what should I do? Prabhupada said, you should print our books in German language. And he thought, I can't speak German. You know, we were all Americans going everywhere. And he said, you know, then I understood, Prabhupada wants it to be done. So then he asked Prabhupada, how do I do this? And the answer Prabhupada gave was, chant Hare Krishna, and Krishna will give you intelligence. And he said that was almost the answer I always got. You know, Prabhupada didn't micromanage. He just expected us to use our creative intelligence. He wouldn't give details. And Prabhupada said, there is a kind of individual genius in every living entity. And so devotee looked up the word genius in the dictionary. And this was like 40 years ago, 50 years ago. And the definition of genius was indwelling deity. Very interesting definition. So we all have genius in our heart, and that's Krishna. He's the reservoir of intelligence, and if we chant nicely, we can connect to that reservoir, just like when I had to teach Bhakti Vaibhav, Bhakti Vedanta course, then sometimes I would not understand a verse, so I would read the verse, chant one round, and then so many ideas would come. If you chant attentively, then you get that intelligence which you really need. We don't have, we're all born Shudras, so where is our intelligence? But by chanting, then we can get intelligence. And Srila Prabhupada did say that if you are all, your brains were spoiled with drugs, and it's just by chanting Hare Krishna you could achieve anything, he told us. Because of the chanting, then we could uncloud our brains and our hearts to actually do something. Okay, so I will stop here, and if you have any questions, comments, you can ask at this time.
What we can do just to be free from all these things as soon as possible, or as soon as impossible.
Well, if you want to go faster, you have to go to Gornitai, and you have to chant Panchatattva mantra. Shri Krishna Chaitanya, Prabhu Nityananda, Shri Advaita Gadadhar, Shri Vasari Gaur Bhaktivinoda, because they don't take offense. And when you chant Panchatattva mantra, there's no offenses. You don't make offense. So you can chant Panchatattva mantra, you can remember them. There's a verse in Chaitanya Charitamrita, even difficult things become easy if you remember Lord Chaitanya. And even easy things become difficult if you forget Lord Chaitanya. So if you want to make it easy and fast, you have to remember Lord Chaitanya and Panchatattva.
Yeah, but Lord Chaitanya
Yeah, no, that's the full Panchatattva. Panchatattva you need. Whole Panchatattva mantra. Nityananda, and to get to Nityananda, you need Advaita. So you need all of them. But the process, Srila Prabhupada explains in Chaitanya Charitamrita, first Advaita, then you go to Nityananda, then you go to Lord Chaitanya, then you go to Gadadhar, 6 Goswamis. So it goes like that way, actually. Progression. Yes.
About association.
Mm-hmm.
I have heard that to associate means that not only just talking,
Not just talking.
or be at work with colleagues or something, but it means that you learn from that person.
Mm-hmm.
So it's very well possible to be at work and communicate, and they get my association,
Mm-hmm.
I get theirs at the same time.
Yeah.
Is that true?
Yeah. That you have to be careful not to take their association, but you give yours. That's fine. You give prasad and even books, maybe if they want. Yeah. And that's the preacher. The preacher does not take theirs, but he gives his association or her association. Oh, yeah. You don't. What it means is you don't have intimate association with them. You don't. That's important. But sometimes it happens that your husband might be non-devotee. Like I heard from somebody in our last Namhata, husband was not a devotee. So then you're forced, but you have to use prasadam and show an example. We have to show example what it means to be a devotee, how good qualities are there, and they will appreciate. And then you can tell them, oh, it's because my guru, he taught me this, and my Srila Prabhupada has written so many books, and that's how I learned to do this, how I learned to be like this. Yeah. Yes?
The connection between unwavering and taking shelter of a devotee or spiritual master initiation. Could you say something about that?
The difference between anartha vritti and taking shelter of initiation.
The connection.
Oh, the connection? Yeah, well, when we take initiation, then our karma is finished. The guru, in that process, takes away your karma. So you still get something, but it's not your karma. But then anartha vritti may even start before initiation. That will, before we're initiated, we may start preaching to somebody with great enthusiasm the wrong way. So even before initiation, it may start the first day of bhajana kriya, that we're already into an anartha vritti. But when we do take initiation, then we take shelter of a spiritual master, then we get mercy, and he's also there protecting us. We get added protection and added guidance how to deal with anartha vritti. In the beginning, before we take shelter, then we may not have that extra guidance and extra protection that we do after initiation. And we make it's like a commitment. Just like if you get married, that's a commitment. If you just live together, then you could just leave any day. You don't have to stay. But when you get initiated, that means you're serious and you want to try to give your life to following this process. And so it shows you do get added protection, and you are making a commitment that, yes, I will try in this life to serve Krishna and chant my 16 rounds, follow 4 principles. And so, yes?
I would like to connect my question. You said that when we take initiation, the karma is finished. But how it's looking from the technical point of view? Because if karma is finished, the body should disappear, yeah? So how it's looking really,
Yeah, the karma finish means that you're no longer under the control of Maya Devi or the modes of nature or, Maya Devi modes of nature or the planets, your chart. Your astrological chart is no longer controlling you, but what happens to you is given directly by Krishna. It's not your karma. It's reduced. Your karma is reduced by Krishna. It may follow your chart or it may not follow your chart. I know devotees who were supposed to die. They didn't die. They went back to the astrologer and they said, now what? He said, I can't say you're supposed to die. I don't know what's going to They said, I can't tell you anything now. Yeah, so that I know examples of that. But I also know an example of a 14-year-old girl who had a huge lifeline, and she died at 14 in Vrindavan of cancer. So I know both ways it can happen. He can take you prematurely, or he can let you go on for longer. Or he can be reduced. I know another devotee, she got blood poisoning from one Ayurvedic doctor right in front of Krishna Balaram temple, gave her some homemade pills. And she was so sick, she had to be in the hospital for 3 months. Blood poisoning. And then she was wondering, how come this happened? And then she went to the astrologer. Astrologer said, if you weren't in the hospital, you would have had a serious accident and be paralyzed for life. So Krishna reduced it. That's another example that I know, that Krishna reduced her karma. So she didn't get paralyzed. She just was, couldn't move for 3 months, so she didn't get in the accident. It's like very interesting. How Krishna reduces. We don't understand that how our karma is. We're not under the laws of karma, but Krishna is giving us a token, so we don't, come back here again or want to come back. Yes? Yeah, they are different. Yes, they are stages. It says at the top they are stages, but at the same time, you can be. It's not like you leave one stage and go to another. You can still be in that stage and go to the next one too, and have 2 or 3 at once, or maybe all 6. But usually the first one is for beginning devotees. But sometimes I see my godbrothers, they're still on the first one. Some of them, they haven't got it, the grasp of the philosophy. I see that. There are some devotees still on the first level. They're blind to different interpretations of the philosophy, and they only see their way. And that's a very beginning outlook on Krishna consciousness, not expanded. Okay, any other? Yeah, devotional service in the mode of ignorance is very scary, huh? And it's violent. You can be violent also. In your speech, in your action, it can be violent. We see that, some people in their religion, they're very angry, and they say you're going to hell, or they'll even kill you. Some people in some religions, they think by a suicide attack on other. Now it's happening actually in Bangladesh. That this is an example of devotional service in the mode of ignorance, or even lower, perhaps. It's not devotional service really, but it's beyond. This is ignorance. In passion, you do things, but you want recognition, you want money, you want things in return. Yeah, and you want recognition. You want. There's examples of this now, also in ISKCON too. Some people say we will take your temples for ourselves. We're for ISKCON. They separate from ISKCON. And and goodness, it means you do your duty in Varnashram. That's actually mode of goodness. You do your Varnashram duty without expectation of results for Krishna. You do what your nature is, you do it for Krishna. And then, of course, transcendental means you're naturally, spontaneously attracted to Krishna consciousness. It's not a duty anymore. More of goodness, it's a duty, yeah, and you want to get purified. But that's good. That's recommended in Bhagavad Gita. That the yogis, they do that for the purpose of purification. They engage in devotional service. The yogis do that. Yes? Hare Krishna.
One of the obstacles is to not have good sangha. What is
Mhm.
good sangha? Is it enough to just read Prabhupada's books? Is it good enough sangha, or we have to have association with sangha?
So what do you mean by not good enough sadhana? You mean you're not chanting, or you said not good enough sadhana? Oh, sangha. Oh, okay. I misheard. Yeah, one ear's deaf here. So sangha, not enough sangha, not good sangha. Yeah, is Prabhupada's books good enough? According to our process, you need three things: Guru, Sadhu, and Shastra. If you think the books are everything, then you may lose friendship. You know, a second-class devotee makes friends with devotees, and he exchanges gifts, he exchanges prasad. He, according to nectar of instruction, that's sangha. That's how we should have sangha in ISKCON. Prabhupada said the purpose of ISKCON is to have these exchanges confidentially, reveal your mind, and accept advice, and exchange gifts, exchange prasadam. This is that's important. That will help you and one reason why devotees leave is because they don't have enough sangha. The books are very important, and you must read the books. I know one of my students in Bhakti Shastri, he told me before he met devotees, he was just reading the books, and it said he read, oh, you have to offer your prasad to Krishna, and he eats it. So what he did was he was offering his food to Krishna and then throwing it out the window because Krishna ate it and it wasn't there anymore. And then he went to the temple and the devotee said, have some prasad, and he said, oh. So yeah, in order to understand how to do devotional service, then you need association and how to advance too. And you need encouragement. You need encouragement from other devotees. So Guru is there. Guru is there. If you think Guru is everything and don't read the books, that's also not good. And if you think devotees are everything and you don't care about Guru or books, then that's also, you just want some social life, that won't work also. You need all three.
Yesterday I was listening to a lecture about Mataji
Hladini.
Narayani, and she was living in this forest for 15 years under the deities, and only her association was Prabhupada's books.
No, she did have other devotees there. They were helping her. If you read her life story, she was married. She had a husband too. She wasn't alone in the forest. She had a husband. I think his name is Varshana Swami now. Varshana Swami. Huh? No. Madhavananda was the husband of Koshaya. Yeah. I knew Madhavananda. He was in Calcutta Temple. And I knew his wife also. No. Her husband was, first she had a really bad one who they forced her to marry. So then the parents would give money, because the parents would give money to anybody who would marry their son, because he was kind of hopeless. So they forced her to marry him. He was a drunkard and all kind of things. And then that didn't last. And then because he abused her, and then she got married again to a nice devotee. She wasn't really alone, and she did have helpers. People did help her. She engaged everybody in helping her cook and do the deity worship of Jagannath. And and then she went to the morning program. It was New Vrindavan. It's not. Yeah, she was alone. I mean, she had to chop her own wood and all that, but she wasn't completely alone. There was she went to morning program, or maybe she conducted it, I don't know. You have to read her book about her life. There is a book. And yeah, so yeah, she did. One thing I read that she didn't have time to chant her rounds. So she would cook and she would put her bead bag on the wall and then she would chant while she was cooking and then she would move a bead down when she finished her round. She would just look at the bead bag while she was cooking and then she would move the bead down whenever she finished one round. That I know. But books, yeah, you need all three, Guru, Sadhu, and Shastra. All three are necessary. One without the other, well, you'll get in trouble. You'll get in trouble. Yeah, any other questions? Uh-huh.
You were saying that, that, I mean, at least in theoretical, when we are on the Nishtha platform, we have a taste for devotional service, for chanting, and this and that. So, but my question is, how far is from Nishtha in this taste to reach pure chanting? So how far is
Yeah, so that we will talk about tomorrow. Nishtha Ruchi. Huh? Oh, you're not here tomorrow?
No, but the seminar will be here? No, it's
Yeah, 11 in the morning.
in the morning,
Yeah,
but I will go.
because afternoon we're going somewhere else. But morning we will finish here at 11 o'clock. At 11.
11 o'clock.
11. That's why. So it's morning, tomorrow, 11 o'clock. We will have the last class for this. Yeah, we'll see what is the difference between all Nishtha, Ruchi, and then beyond Ruchi. And that's all these verses will help us to understand. What is that difference? Okay, yes? How we get Guru in your life. Yeah, generally it's like that. You can do that. Somebody may recommend you or tell you, oh, this one is like this one is like this. But they do have a disciples course which you can take online, and that will tell you how to look for a guru.
Actually, we ask many things to many senior devotees, but actually we need one guru, how we can.
Yeah, so the thing is, what you need to look for is that will you be able to follow that person? You have faith in that person. And secondly, you need to be able to help that guru in his service to Srila Prabhupada. You see, it's important because like if you become disciple of Bhakti Marg Swami, you'll be in dramas. Or you may have to go in Pariyacha also. So yes, like other gurus, they emphasize Harinam. You'll be on Harinam your whole life if you follow that guru. Other gurus emphasize writing books, so you might have to help them in their, publishing books, sell their books. I don't know what else. Other gurus, they travel a lot, different places. So one thing is to have to see if you get along with that guru. The personality is there also. You have to see the personality. And you have to see if you will get association, will that guru come to your country? Or if he has so many thousands of disciples, will you be able to associate directly with that guru or not? I mean, there are many things, but there's also a course that tells you what to look for also when you're looking. I mean, now we have internet, so you can hear everyone's lectures. You can hear all the lectures and see what resonates with you also, that you can see. And yeah. And then if you come to Vrindavan, all the gurus have their parikramas, Mayapur Vrindavan, that you can see also. And then you can see how the guru, what the guru is like and all that.
We have to directly connect it with guru or through senior devotee.
Well, it's better if you directly connect. I mean, you can do through senior devotee also. It's also good. But it's not necessary. You can directly connect or you can go, but the guru might make you go through a senior devotee. That may happen also, yes?
To what extent this is like
Okay, to what? Well, we heard, the verses I quoted today. It's the mercy of Gornitai that it's revealed to you. Your guru is revealed to you. So mercy is there, but at the same time, you can't just rely on that. It has to be. You have to use your intelligence, for sure. A lot of devotees, they didn't use their intelligence, and later they regretted it. Oh, why? How did I do this? And then they take shiksha from somebody else. It's not a complete loss because there's so many gurus, and you can always get shiksha. But then you need permission from your diksha guru to get shiksha from others. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, also to turn the other way around, that Prabhupada, he writes in Chaitanya Charitamrita in the first canto that generally one is instructed by many Shiksha gurus.
Yeah, there are many shiksha gurus.
And then
Yeah.
generally one takes initiation
From
from
diksha.
the most prominent
Yeah,
Shiksha guru.
the most prominent shiksha guru.
How relate to that we are out researching on the YouTube and we find people who have never had anything to do with our life.
Yeah.
How can that be our spiritual master?
Yeah. Well, it's not like it's just by hearing also. By hearing, when you hear the instructions and they inspire you. When somebody inspires you to transform your life and to, yeah, Prabhupada is there, of course.
Not take initiation from Prabhupada.
Huh? What's that?
But we cannot take initiation from
No, yeah, Prabhupada is there for everyone, that's a fact. But the gurus are meant to connect you to Prabhupada. So we can see, we can check, that's also one thing to check for. How is this guru going to connect me to Prabhupada? How is he bringing Prabhupada in my life? That's a good thing.
My point was is that so you find someone on YouTube who's living 12 time zones away that you never met, you're never going to see them.
Right.
Connecting you particularly to Prabhupada if you don't have personal association.
Yeah, well, that can come if you decide to go further. You just hear and you say, oh, okay, that's inspiring. And then Srila Prabhupada has said, for 1 year, you should test the guru and the guru should test you to see if the relationship is going to work. Because it's a relationship, lifelong relationship. Just like marriage. You make a commitment, but it's because you have little association. I mean, in the past they didn't. Now you do. I can associate, use your intelligence, and make a decision that this is where I want to go. This is whom I want to follow. You need to have some faith. Faith has to be there so that you can, yes, this person I can take this guidance for the rest of my life. He'll guide me. And I can trust this person and like that. You need to create faith. And it's possible on internet to get that faith, I would say. But then, of course, then you would have to go further and say, oh, I'd like to try this. Let me try. Because it is a trial. Srila Prabhupada said for 1 year. Now it has to be a trial because we don't know. All the gurus, as you say, we don't know just by the internet.
Now it seems like it's a system without precedent, actually.
Yeah. System without precedent. Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's difficult.
Association with someone who took initiation, it wasn't that.
Right.
You could social media and the other, you just.
Yeah. That's what we have now. And so then we can use it intelligently if we want. We can use social media intelligently. And then you can always travel and go. If you think that, oh yeah, this is very inspiring, I must associate. But some gurus won't accept you even. I know Satyananda Swami. He's very difficult to get him as spiritual master. He'll make you wait 10 years, and then he might say, no, you're not my disciple. And then you have to go look again. I've heard he's difficult one. Jaipatak Maharaj, easy one. Yes, his arms are open, ready to welcome everyone. He doesn't discriminate. But I did hear somebody who recently took initiation from him. She was already initiated by a guru who fell down, who left. And then she, and then now she took reinitiation from Jayapataka Swami. And she had to fill up like pages and pages of forms to fill up to get initiation. So it wasn't that easy. I thought it was easy, but no, not. Yes, question?
I would like to add if I can.
Add something, okay?
Yeah, because from my point of view, I was so eager to get the guru. I was really, because I read Bhagavad Gita, I knew without guru.
You were very eager to get a guru.
And then things started. From the beginning, it was slow, but when I really got this desire, it happened like.
Yeah, so so what I get from you is if your desire is strong enough, then it will happen quickly and you'll get lots of help from Krishna. It will happen quickly. Yeah, I had that desire too, very strong. And I got it. Yeah, okay. Any other? Yes?
Also along this that, if your guru is into high now, you get into high now. If your guru is into books, then you should be there for that.
I'm just saying it's...
But isn't also the ISKCON actually, the policy is that actually gurus are not putting disciples to where they are.
Yeah, they're not supposed to.
The main thing is that the instruction is generally, you are where you are, you dedicate your life to that service.
Yeah.
That's what pleases your guru.
Exactly, and I know Jayapataka Maharaj, he encourages all his disciples to preach, not like they go to him and follow him around. But he encourages them all to preach, and that's his question when he sees them. What preaching are you doing now? That's what he wants is. So I'm just saying, yeah, different gurus have different ways they want you to engage.
Because also we have incidents where gurus, they start
Yeah,
disciples, which is
yeah, exactly.
which is actually
Yeah, they do have a guru seminar, how to be a guru, and that's one of the points in the seminar that that you need to cooperate with the authorities. The gurus need to cooperate and not just take their disciple out here and there. And I know that happens. I just heard one recently. Yeah, I just heard of one such case recently. You have the case here. Many. No. Yeah, it's not, according to that seminar, training how to be guru, you're not supposed to do that. You're supposed to respect the local authorities and but sometimes the devotee doesn't fit in to the local, and then the guru puts him somewhere else. So that's another thing. But, yeah. That used to happen even in Prabhupada's time. Prabhupada was the only guru, but, the brahmacharis would go through a temple, the traveling brahmacharis who are doing book distribution, and take all the brahmacharis from the temple and put them on their bus and take them away from the temple. It was happening. And it came to a huge fight, and then Prabhupada, he stopped it. 1976. And Prabhupada stopped it. Yeah, any other questions? Okay, all glories to Prabhupada. You can keep these prayers and you can keep the verses. And if you're coming back tomorrow, you can keep this. And otherwise, you can give this back.